I'm not about to fight with you. I'm not about to argue with you. And it's not like I don't care. It's just that I don't care enough to argue with you right now. Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So August is my birthday month. Ooh, hope this light don't keep going in and out. August is my birthday month, and this year I'm going to be turning, how old I'll be? I'll be 32 years old this year. Okay, I'll be 32 years old this year. And y'all, my body is telling me that I'm going to be 32. Even though the other day, I had to jump in the dumpster because I threw my keys away. Hello, 30s. I threw my keys in the trash can in the dumpster, and I had to jump inside the dumpster. And that made me feel young. Like, the whole thing made me feel young. The stupidity of throwing my keys in the trash can. The fact that I had to jump into the dumpster like I was jumping a fence made me feel young. But then I did feel slightly old when I was in the dumpster, and I was like, oh shit, how the hell am I gonna get out of here? Because a dumpster is big. It is big. And so it was just a whole mess that day. But where's I going? Yeah. So I'm going to be 32 this year, and I just want to, so this video is just more of like a reflection video of what I've learned in my 30s so far. Just about adulting, like adulthood and just womanhood in general. And, yeah. And so right now I'm on my way to go, about to do my adult thing, my baby, my car. It's time for that emissions test. So I'm about to go do my emissions test so I can get my tag. So yeah, so I'm about to go do that. I'm about to go get my emissions test done. Y'all see how short my hair is? It don't got no water in it. That shrinkage is real. Alright, so, but I am going to come back to this video with just some things that I've learned so far about adulthood, being in my 30s, womanhood, and all that other stuff. But it's not going to... Alright, hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, MsMoe. So, first and foremost, good morning. If y'all saw the video that I just posted, I talk about how, like, I shoot my videos and then I go to work. Well, that's one of those days today. So right now it's about like 6:50 in the morning, and I wanted to record this video so I can edit it throughout the week and post it in a good amount of time. So yeah, but this video is not talking about all of that. I just wanted to just give y'all a little bit of insight as to why sometimes my voice might sound a little deep when I be coming on here, and sometimes it might sound a little bit more high pitched, and that's because it's different parts of the day that I'm shooting these videos. Alright, so let's get started. Why don't we? This video is actually just a continuation of the video of the video that I was shooting yesterday, when I was telling you all that I was going to go tell you all that it's my birthday month. Sorry, I'm just scratching my armpits all on the camera. Don't mind me. When I was telling you all that it was my birthday month and I was going to go get my emissions test done. So I just wanted to just continue what I was saying in that video regarding things that I've learned in my 30s so far. And I didn't really write this down too much, so some of the stuff is going to be coming off the zone with it. I'm going to be coming off the zone with it. And so I just wrote down a couple of things, and I might read it out and just elaborate on that. And so when I'm talking to you all, I'm going to be taking off my nails. One big lesson that I learned in my 30s is loving my body. I have to love my body. Like, and I was thinking about whether or not I should say this, but I think it's important for people to hear it, especially young ladies, young melanated women, young melanated girls, to love your body. I feel like my journey of self-lovery in regards to my body began with my locks. And it was just me realizing that, you know, I don't like that super clean, freshly retwisted look when it came to my locks. And just seeing my hair in its natural state and just realizing that that's what works for me, I just began to just appreciate the natural things about my body. It just had a ripple effect. But y'all know I took my locks out. So when I hit 30, like, and I was thinking about this, I was like, I don't understand how this happened, but I'm glad it did. When I hit 30, like, I have stretch marks. I've had them since I was a kid. And I used to be ashamed of them. Like, it's on my arms, it's on my, what's this thing called? Like, my knees. It's definitely on my thighs. And something happened, like, when I hit 30 that made me just say, wow, these stretch marks are beautiful. I don't know what it was. I was thinking, like I was saying, I was thinking about this earlier. And I don't know if it's the fact that I started to connect more with nature, and just, I've always had a deep appreciation for nature, but just connecting more with nature, seeing how things grow, just seeing life, learning from nature. And the stretch marks just reminded me of like trees and roots. And it just reminded me of the earth. And it's like, wow, my body looks like something that's connected to the earth. So being in my 30s, I've learned the importance of loving my body, because it's like it's one less thing for me to think about, like one less insecurity for me to think about whether or not my body looks good or not. Like, I got so many other insecurities. I don't got time to keep adding on or to retain in one that I really don't need anymore. Like, you really need an insecurity. But yeah, so that's 2 is what I put down. Oh, minding my business. Now, I was never one to be super nosy anyway, but one thing that I've learned very much so, it's just mind my business. Like, if I see, like, when I be seeing kids just being real reckless or real stupid or whatever, not that I was saying anything before, but now I'm just like, they just being dumb. If they want to do something or start something or bring any of that stupidity over here, then, you know, we could talk about it. We could deal with that. But if kids are being dumb, if somebody's being dumb, we don't even gotta be a kid. If it's an adult, full ass adult, I'm not dealing with you. I'm just minding my business, because I got, again, so many other shit to worry about and to think about, and you are not making the cut. So just mind my business. Because one thing I learned about minding my business is that because I got so much stuff to worry about, if I'm in your business, that means my stress level is gonna be multiplying, and I don't want my stress to multiply. And that leads me to lesson number 3. Keep that stress level down. Just keep it down. Like, adulting don't get any easier. You just learn how to deal with it better the older you get. And so keeping that stress level down is key. It's key for my mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Lesson number 3. Keep that stress level down. Don't be letting people stress you out. If it's not worth the fight. depending on what it is, it's not really worth the fight. I'm not about to fight with you. I'm not about to argue with you. And it's not like I don't care. It's just that I don't care enough to argue with you right now. If that makes sense. Okay, this video is already 10 minutes. All right. Okay. Another lesson that I've learned is, and maybe this is probably like the last lesson that I would say, it's in regards to this book. It's called Breathe Eyes Memory by Edwidge Danticat. She's a Haitian Creole author. I don't know where that accent came from, but she's a writer. She's an author, and she wrote this book, Breathe Eyes Memory. And if you all haven't read it before, it's an older book, so it didn't just come out. Let's see, when did it come out? I think the first time it came out was in 1994. I think. And I think they like, they did a 20-year edition of the book with some additional things in it towards the end. But this is a book that I would include part of my lessons in my 30s because of the themes in the book. And the things that I got from the book that resonated with me the older that I get is that connect with your foundation. In the story, it's a story that centers around the relationship of a mother and daughter, but really just mothers and daughters. And it's a mother that was basically just got a lot of baggage, and that baggage rolled over or spilled over into her daughter. And then now her daughter has a daughter, but it's like the daughter is trying to stop that cycle because the daughter is going to therapy. Like, she's trying to connect and be open with her husband. She's just trying to do things a little bit differently than how her mom handled stuff. And her mom just handled stuff by just kind of like escaping from any issue that she had. Because she was so focused on trying to push everything down and try to create a life for herself and her daughter that didn't surround pain. She was very restrictive with her daughter, which made her daughter like push back against her. And by pushing back against her mom, she disconnected herself from her foundation. Like, she still had a good foundation with her aunts. Well, I mean, with her auntie and her grandmother. But, you know, that's her mom. And so there's always going to be that connection there. And so it just, so that was like one theme that I got from the book, was that it's important to connect with your foundation. Because I think connecting with your foundation is a great way to just basically better understanding yourself. So that was one thing, y'all. Another theme that I got from this book was just kind of feeding off of that, connect with your foundation, about how our parents' trauma lives within us. It can live within us because, you know, we're connected to them by DNA, but it can also live within us because of the environment that they create for us. And because her mom, because her mom was so like, she just wanted to protect her daughter, she just wanted the best for her daughter, she just wanted, like in the book, if you read it, they talk about doing this thing called the test. I'm not going to go too much into it, but if you look it up, if you know what it is, if you're old enough to know what it is, then yeah. But because her mom never dealt with that trauma, she placed all her fears, all her concerns, not only on herself, but on her daughter. And putting all of that pressure and pain on your child, it makes, when a child turns into an adult, they still carry that with them. And I feel like that's probably why the author just kind of like emphasized the importance of like going to therapy, and just working on yourself, because if you're not able to do that, and you are not able to deal with that trauma, that pain, you are going to bring that to your child. And that's not necessarily fair for a child to have to endure, because you were, I'm not trying to say it in a way that's blaming a parent, but, and sometimes some trauma, some pain is just too hard to deal with. But I think one thing that was present in the book that was that the daughter, when she got older, like she found a husband, somebody that she really cares about and that she really loves, but she still has this trauma and this pain that was created by her mother. She brought that into her marriage. And so one thing that the daughter was trying to tell the mom was like, you know, you're dating a good man right now. Like, basically allow him to be your support system. Lean on him. That's your partner. Partner up. Like, that's supposed to be like your support system. And the mom was just very much like, no. I don't want to put him through that. Or like, just very, she just didn't want to deal with it. And again, it's a lot of, when people are going through something, like this is like what I'm learning in my 30s, but like, is sometimes it's easier to just say, oh, just deal with it. But it's not that easy to deal with. And I think that was one thing that resonated in the book, is that a lot of pain is not easy to deal with. But when you know that you are kind of in a safe space with safe people, take your time with trying to deal with that pain. Don't try to make it seem as if it's got to be something that's you got to rush through. And I feel like that's another thing in the book. Like, don't rush through your healing process. Take your time with it, because it takes time to do that. So that was another thing from the book. Our parents' trauma lives in us. So, and that, what that also let me see is that, and this leads into like the third theme of the book that I recognized, was that like everybody have to be real aggressive about their own self-healing. Because again, if our parents' trauma lives in us, and we still have our own trauma, because it's going to happen, our own trauma to collect throughout our lives, how do we take care of ourselves? Like, that's why I say we have to be aggressive about our self-healing. And I feel like the daughter, what was her name in the book? Was it Sophie? I feel like her daughter was trying to be aggressive about her self-healing. It's been like, it's all these things that she's working through that her mom didn't work through, because her mom was just afraid. I think afraid of judgment, afraid of just her fear. Her fear, just one fear led to another fear, which led to another fear, which led to another fear, which basically didn't end well for the mother. And so I feel like that's another big major theme that I recognize in the book, is that we have to be, and as I enter into another year, I have to be aggressive about my own self-healing. And that means, you know, connecting with my foundation. If I have any unresolved issues with my family, or if I just want to just get to know my family more, you know, I have to be aggressive about that, because the thing about self-healing is that you have to be in touch with the truth. So in order for me to be in touch with the truth, I gotta seek the truth. And, you know, seeking the truth means connecting with that foundation. Well, where's the beginning of, how did this all start? You know, stuff like that. And so, yeah, that was just, I wanted to include that book. Oh, yes, a nail came off. Oh my goodness, it's gonna take forever. I wanted to include that book because, in part of my lessons in my 30s, because I just got finished reading the book, but also it was a good book. It was a good book. And I think the last thing I want to say, and it kind of feeds off of this book, is that another thing I learned in my 30s is that reading is still awesome. Like, we live in such an age where everybody is like always, I mean, I'm recording this, you know, for social media, but we just live in an age where people are just like constantly Googling things, and just, they're expanding their mind, but it's in like a very limited capacity. And it's kind of weird to be able to do that at the same time, because the internet exposes you to so much, but you're not allowing your mind to, you know, create and think and just be critical. It's not a lot of critical thinking done because of the internet. Woo. Oh my goodness. Hey, my nails. Okay. Got these babies off. Still got glue on them, though. But yeah, reading is awesome. And I didn't even think I would read a book. Just how my schedule be working, I didn't even think I have time to read a book. But I read a book, and it was amazing. And I want to read some more. And again, that was just another lesson. Go back to the basics. Reading is fun. Everything, though, like television, it can be cool too, but after a while, all the shows are the same. The plots are the same. Pick up a book. Feed your imagination. Build up your patience. That's one thing. Reading is awesome because it builds up your imagination and builds up your patience. Because to know that you got to start from page 1 to get to wherever that end is, and it's not like you can rush through anything, because whatever you don't read, you might miss. It might be helpful to understanding the story better. Y'all, reading is awesome. Okay. So, but that is the end of this video. I don't want this thing to be too long because I still got to edit it. But hopefully I won't have to do much editing. But those are the lessons that I've learned in my 30s so far. And so, yeah, I'm excited about my birthday. I always love my birthday month. I celebrate my birthday throughout the whole month of August. I just be treating myself. Because who gonna do it? Who gonna do it? I've had the pleasure and the pain of having my birthday around the time of when school starts again. So I always had to decide between getting a birthday gift and getting school stuff. Like, the struggle was real. So, you know, when I got to the age where I was like, girl, celebrate yourself. I've been celebrating my birthday all month long ever since. And so, yeah. Oh my goodness. These fake nails would just be fucking up your real nails, for real. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you all for watching. Bye.